Okay, I need to fix a camera here real quick because for some reason, I don't know why this one. Gonna go ahead and just get started here. I'm gonna get my drone up and I'm gonna start mowing. I got some things going on a little different today. I think everything's ready. So we're starting in my backyard today. And I got a couple new things going on. So let me just get this drone going here. See if I can't not crash into some trees here. Oops. All right. So the one thing I forgot to do is get my lawnmower. It's in the front yard still. So there's going to be a brief loss of signal here for the mic. Okay, everything should be working. I believe the mic should reach this far. I don't have one of those Pro Action mics. So I drained the fuel line, so it might take a second. The last time I shut it down. Oh, I guess I need to turn the fuel on. I'm just going to give the mower a second to warm up. So we're in my backyard today. I thought I'd start things out a little bit differently. So I sprayed a bunch of tenacity down in my front yard and backyard. I'm going to show you the front yard in a minute. I don't know if you can see any of these light spots in any of the camera views right here. A little mushroom. Good sign of good organic nutrients in the soil. So I got some bleaching going on here. It looks like the POA is actually bleaching out. I have some POA back here, a couple spots. There's a little bit of bent grass right here, little POA, couple POAs right here. I had pulled out a bunch of POA earlier, but this looks like I have a little bit growing back in because I can see some seeds here. So I'll pull this off real quick. So this is never good. So I've got a little bit of POA there in that batch. So I'm going to throw this in the trash can. I have a plan for attacking POA this year. You know, POA annua is a fact of life in Washington. Just going to go ahead and get started mowing because I got a lot of things going on today. So the reason why I started in my backyard today is because I haven't really shown my backyard this year. And so of course this is going to be a logistics thing. You know, I forgot to rake this. This looks like a snake. I think a freaking bird brought a dead snake in my yard. Oh my God. It's a really small snake. I don't know where it came from. Anyways, I usually rake back here. I am going to mow later today after mow with my rotary mower to to suck up all the grass clippings and stuff like that. I'm just making sure I got all the pine cones up because pine cones and a real mower do not mix. So this is going to look great in just a second here. It's not going to take too terribly long to get this backyard mowed here. And it'll take me just a couple of minutes to transfer the cameras up to the front yard. I just kind of figured it was worth it to go ahead and, you know, do both yards today because they're looking really good. We've had the good temperatures. And because of the good temperatures, we got some good microbe activity going on. Because we got good microbe activity going on, we've got great grass response to it. So, and the last time I mowed this backyard last week, it looked really good afterwards. So just kind of get a good before and after here. And, oh man, I just ran over a pine cone. At least I ran up and over. I guess with that flat roller, it's kind of helping bounce over it. I've got a couple of areas in my backyard I need to work on. This back corner right over here. Right here. So this is my pain in the butt spot. I've had a really hard time getting it to grow and root, and I haven't really done anything to it yet this season to get it going. I have grass seed to put down, and I've been doing a lot of things in other people's yards, getting their yards going so I can concentrate on mine a little bit better. So I'm mowing once a week. And I'm getting to the point where I almost need to mow twice a week. I'm pushing nitrogen pretty hard. Once I got my soil temps up in the 50s, you know, seed germination area, I really started pushing nitrogen. And a few lawns that I'm trying to get into shape this year. Oh, this always happens. This is sloped over here, and my mower always dies. See, because the fuel all runs to the side or so. I don't know why it does it, but it always does it right here. So let me so like I said, I'm pushing a lot of nitrogen right now. I figured it out. I think last week I said I was doing like what did I say I was doing? I think I said I was doing a fifth of a pound of nitrogen, and I'm actually doing about a tenth of a pound. And I'm doing weekly right now, a tenth of a pound. And one of my main reasons I'm doing a tenth of a pound a week right now is because I'm trying to show people, especially, you know, people that aren't really up on how to get their grass green, or why their grass turns green, or why it doesn't turn green. Why does everybody else have such green grass? And a lot of it has to do with just what you hear. You know, I see them in my Google feeds. I see bad info in my Google feeds on people who are saying how to have the best yard, and you know, they got all these articles and these things, and I read all these articles, and it literally drives me nuts. You know, not only YouTube, but these articles, you know, that you read, you know, and they say it's from an expert or, you know, a lawn care professional. Even there's some golf course managers that not only have YouTube channels, but, you know, also provide information. There it goes. Provide information for these articles. And I heard a YouTube, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, lawn care, and to tell you the truth, I'm kind of getting tired of them, but I try to watch them because I try to, you know, see what guys are saying, you know, what they're telling people. You know, there's nothing that drives me nuts more than a YouTube, you know, influencer that's got, you know, thousands of subscribers that's just out there spreading a bunch of garbage, you know, nonsense. So, getting back to my point of why I'm pushing nitrogen right now, pushing nitrogen because this is basically what a lot of these guys, you know, are saying, you know, pushing nutrients. But there's only one nutrient you need to push to get green, and that's nitrogen. You're going to get green and growth. If you don't want growth and you don't want your lawn to fill in and be thick, then just use some iron. But you got to make sure it's liquid iron. Liquid iron is really the only thing, and I can't say the only thing. It's some granular products depending upon your lawn, your location, your soil, you know, your pH. You know, there's all these different factors that affect the iron. Iron is a really difficult nutrient to apply right with a granular product. You know, a lot of people will tell you to use a chelated iron, and as long as it's, you know, a granular chelated iron, you know, it's going to be fine, and it's not. You know, there's certain types of chelated iron products that, depending upon your soil pH, aren't going to work. They're not going to do anything for your soil and your turf grass. So it's best to stick with a spray-on iron. And I mention this all the time. I use ferrous sulfate heptahydrate. It's almost like a powder, but I mix it in water because that's how it's designed to be used, is in water. And next weekend I'll probably show how I do an application of that. I'm just going to move some cameras up front. While I do it, I'm going to show you some of this POA area. You know, my picture's probably going to go out because it always does when I move the cameras around. That's why I try to keep them stable. So here, I'm going to try to get this in the center of the view here. We've got some right here, 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 here. And that's the effects of tenacity. And let's see if we can get down on this one right here. So this is the one that I pulled the POA seed off, and here's the seed head right here. I just mowed. And usually because I mow so often, and I usually get these seed heads before they come out, but here's the seed head right here. But you see the bleaching, The tenacity is starting to bleach it. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably just stay on this. There's a tenacity program that helps control POA and get rid of POA that's actively growing. And now that I've already started that process, I think I'm going to continue it. I just applied this last week, but my main thing for applying this was because of bent grass in my front yard, in my main grass, in my main yard. So here, I'm going to set this camera right here. I don't want you guys to see my side yard. This looks terrible. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to move some other cameras up. So video is going to cut in and out for a second here while I move cameras around. Why is this camera cut out over here? My cup that I did last week. Yeah, so I doubt you heard what I was saying while I was back there, but I have a Masters flag in my hole right now because, you know, of course it's the Masters, and I know Rory was up yesterday, but he wasn't doing necessarily that great. So, oh man, almost crashed into the tree. It's like I have to watch the screen and the drone because I have these trees in my backyard. So here's how the mow turned out. So it's a little overcast today, so let's see, I can back up a little bit here before I hit another tree. It's just a little tight over here. Oh shoot. See, I backed up too far. Oh no. Danger, danger. I gotta change the battery anyways. It'll be fine. It's not the first time I've crashed that thing. So I actually crashed it into this big tree over here. As long as I didn't break any props, I'm all right. Let me reset this. So I'm just gonna move this up front real quick while I'm working on it. I'm sure that looked pretty cool on the screen there. Oh yeah, but I crashed this thing into this big tree in my backyard. It's my neighbor's tree actually. And it was like, I don't know, 30 feet up or something like that. Look at this madness. It's my side yard I need to work on this year. All right, so let me get my microphone camera. And while I go around the side of the house here, it's probably gonna cut out. So we'll take a look at some of this tenacity action. So here's a little, if you can see it right there, POA right there. Got a little seed head on it here. So then look, this is bent grass, bent grass. Most of this is bent grass, bent grass, bent grass in here. Here's some POA. So I rake this so it looks like crap right now. So that's why I'm going to bent grass. So that's bent grass right there. So that's why I'm going to mow with my rotary mower after I get done, because I raked everything up to try to cut some of this bleaching that's going on from this POA here. And I'll set this camera right here. See if this camera stays on. I don't know what's going on with this camera. It doesn't like to stay connected for some reason. So this is like a really old phone. And because of the way I connect to my app, I'm gonna turn the drone off real quick and change the battery. Just because that's important. I'm gonna let this get all connected. So like I said, I got a lot of growth going on here from weekend to weekend. And what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna grab my dew whip, because I need to whip the green, because that thing is growing like crazy, but it's got a lot of dew on it. The sun didn't come out today. So I'm just gonna do the area. Let me go ahead and put the camera on this over here. I hope all the cameras are reconnected. So the putting green's actually growing in fairly well. I've got a couple of areas that I did a little extra seeding on. So I don't know if you can see the water flicking off as I'm going through this. That's gonna make a mess really quick. It also kind of changes the color. So I generally don't use the dew whip for this. Let's see if the drone's going, I can maybe get some. I use mostly my dew whip for earthworm castings. But I took advantage of the worm moon of March and got my tea seed meal down, and I got rid of a bunch of worms. I don't really have a worm problem right now. What I have right now is bent grass and a little bit of POA. And I'm working on getting POA out of some neighbors' yards right now. So we're not using any pre-emergence out here. I plan to get a couple of neighbors on some pre-emergent programs at the end of the season in September. Starting in August, I'm going to start. All right, so this guy's got a fresh battery. Just going to send this way up. I think I'm going to do this. Try not to run into my neighbor's tree now. I don't normally do this view. Like the sun's kind of come out. So I'm going to go with that view for this mow. And I'll zoom in on the putting green when we do the putting green. But so the putting green is reseeded right now in the white areas. That's just sand. And I'm working on getting my putting green back in shape. So hopefully by mid-May, it's going to be looking good. So my mower's already set for that cut height over there to do the main Kentucky bluegrass. All right, I see on my stream, my drone is not connecting. Let's see here. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna go check my system and see if I might have lost connection when I went outside the house. Just give me 2 seconds here. I'm trying to get the drone connected. Oh yeah, I lost my. Sorry, this all right, hold on, I gotta go check back in the house real quick. My connection got lost. Too much technical stuff to do all this. It's really weird. some reason my tablet that I'm running off of is not sharing the screen. So let me just do this over. I'm just going to connect this again. Says it's connected. Receive. Well, by the time I get this all fixed, the stupid drone's gonna be battery dead. I don't understand why this won't.
Remote control connected. Connected.
I'm trying, but this stupid just doesn't want to do it. Well, that's a bummer. I don't know why this is not accepting the code. There we go. I think I got it now.
Remote control connected. Connected.
Well, maybe that's working now. Let me just take a look real quick. Sorry, I had to click a few buttons. Let me just fix the picture a little bit. Oh, I'm using the wrong thing, that's why. All right, sorry about that. You know, I'm still learning everything when it comes to this stuff. And because of that, this happens. I think for an old guy, though, I do pretty good. Okay, so the drone's gonna probably die, but whatever. All right, we'll get to mowing. Well, that's me and my technical difficulties that I always have every live. But what fun is a live if you don't have some technical difficulties? I'll move some cameras around. What the heck just happened? So I did do a tune-up on this, but you know, I never changed the air filter. And I did not change the spark plug. I gotta trim these stupid plants back. They're growing like crazy. I only did an oil change. I looked at the air filter, it looked good. This is my second year on this. This is starting my third year on this mower. And I've only done oil changes. I haven't changed the air filter or the spark plug. Now, just gonna move this camera. I'm gonna do this side here real quick. And like I said, I did the oil. I just did not do the air filter, and I did not do the spark plug, and I probably need to look into that. I also want to do a sharpening of the bed knife and the reel. You know, a backlapping. So the current soil temp is 58 degrees. It wasn't even. It wasn't even 50 degrees when I came out this morning. The air temperature, and that's why we talk about, you know, monitoring soil temperature. You can't go by air temperature when you're trying to do seeding and all that kind of stuff, you know, because just because it's 55 degrees outside doesn't mean that your soil's 55 degrees. You know, that's the germination temperature. So our soil temps have been basically in the high 50s for about 10 days. And we're starting to get a lot of germination in some yards and things like that. Like my putting green, my bent grass, it is definitely germinating. Although I did not get the germination I was hoping for, but I did start getting germination. So I put a little more seed down. And it's only been 7 days. Well, it's been 8 days now since I put the seed down. And bent grass germinates pretty quickly. I'll show you some of that action as soon as we're done here. Cutting a turnaround spot here so I don't have to walk on the putting green to the main yard. So I figure it's going to take another couple of weeks before the bleaching effect grows out. And then also, you know, the areas that I'm repairing right now, those are starting to germinate. And also the spreading action of the Kentucky bluegrass is filling in a lot of those spots as well. So and all of this is really just a part of my spring cleanup of getting the yard in shape for the season. You know, killing bent grass, dealing with the last late POA that comes in. And like I said, there's POA everywhere out here. So many yards, a lot of people don't take care of their yards. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. And because of that, everybody else's yards suffer from them, like the grubs. We have a lot of neighbors around here that have a really bad grub problem. And, it's not my place to tell them what they need to do. I mean, I'd like to, but I just don't. I don't say anything to them. I mean, if people ask me, I'm more than willing to help people. Understand what's going on in their yard and stuff like that, because I feel pretty comfortable and confident about what I know, what I've learned, what I've been learning. And a lot of what I've been learning is, based on soil science, not on YouTube. I pretty much don't listen to anything that anybody says on YouTube anymore. But I will admit, there are more people now who are starting to practice proper yard practices for maintaining a good yard without having to use a bunch of nonsense crap that YouTube guys are trying to sell you because they came up with a product, they came up with a fertilizer that's, the best thing since sliced bread. And I feel bad for the people that buy that stuff because they're spending so much money on something that for one bottle of a lot of these guys, I mean, there's one guy, he's got a product that I think was $130. And it's a part of the program, and it's what's going to work. I mean, look at my lawn. This is why my lawn looks so great. And the reality is that's not why his lawn looks great. And that's their selling point. You want your yard to look like mine? Do what I do. I mean, I know right now nobody wants their yard to look like mine. Got a bunch of bleached out bent grass, and I got a putting green, trying to seed, and I was hoping this mow was going to make this tenacity application bleaching look a little better, but it's making it worse, but whatever. You have to do the proper maintenance on your yard to keep it going, keep it established. And you have to fight all the things you have to fight. I mean, I'm so glad I don't live in the South and, the East where they have humidity and they have lots of disease problems. I've never dealt with a disease before. And last year, I think I might have had some dollar spot. I still don't really know. But I had a little small area of my yard that had an issue. I'm gonna have to keep this on the putting green because I know I got seed on the bottom of the. I'm gonna do the side yard over here. Fix my turnaround spots. And whether I had dollar spot or not, I mean, It's like, who really cares? I don't care. You know, anything that happens in your yard, you just got to deal with it. And that's why I'm a big believer in nutrients. You know, just put the nutrients down if you need it. And I'm talking like phosphorus and potassium and stuff like that. Nitrogen, you know, you're always going to need nitrogen. You're always going to need to add nitrogen because nitrogen is, I'll say, the most volatile nutrient in your soil because it's the one that's used the most by the grass, by the roots, and by the grass itself. And that's why we continually add nitrogen. But phosphorus and potassium, turfgrass barely even uses that. And I know I talk about this a lot, but listening and has never heard these things before. You know, if you watch a YouTube guy on, a lawn care YouTube guy on YouTube, or you see a Google ad pop up, I mean, these so-called experts are constantly talking about adding things to your yard that are just ridiculous. And just like, and I'm not a fan of aeration because you don't really need to aerate your lawn. So I'm going to do this. I don't know how well this is going to work out because it never works out that great. But I'm only going to go over here for a second and then I'll stop. So it's just a little peek of my little Kentucky bluegrass dead area that dies out every winter because it doesn't get any sun. And then this is all my moss that I have on the outside of my grass. I have no moss in my grass. There's zero moss in my grass. And then right here, I really don't know what's going on right here. I don't know if that's just bent grass. I mean, it seems to me like it's a lot of bent grass. So around my putting green, I get a lot of bent grass because, you know, I don't catch my grass clippings. And for good reason. It's what's providing good, you know, composting, you know, nutrients for the which is up. You know, and it's a big reason why I don't add a lot of fertilizer, because if you maintain your turf grass properly, you don't need to add a bunch of fertilizer. And on top of that, you don't want to add a bunch of fertilizer because fertilizer, high phosphorus, high potassium, great causes for I don't know what's going on with my drone. Did it crash? Did it run into the, oh, it ran into the tree on its own? Why didn't somebody tell me that? I don't even know where it is. Oh, I see it. Huh, that's funny. Man, my drone is having a rough day today. It's upside down. Holy mackerel. Oops. Well, at least it landed in my neighbor's mulch bed. So I really got to spray this mower off because it's so wet out here right now. So I'm just going to set this right over here right now. And look at the putting of the bent grass right there. And I'm going to move this camera. And I'll get this camera to show some some of the Mo action. It's probably too low. Oh, what did the camera reverse? There, how's that? I must have touched something. We'll let that sit right there. So it looks like my drone is having some camera issues. Probably, I'm just going to go ahead and put a new battery in it. Well, it should have landed. The battery died. I don't even know if that's what happened. Drone. I'm assuming the battery died. So I'm sure resetting this is what caused the problem with the screen to go out. Let's see.
Connected.
Okay, so that's connected. We'll see if that comes back on screen. I'm going to go ahead and do a blade height adjustment. And just finish off with putting green. That's going to take really quick. So just going to talk about a couple of things that I got going on. So today I'm pretty busy. I actually have, I don't know, a bunch of people, bunch of family coming over tonight for dinner. It's my oldest son's birthday on Tuesday. So we're having a big steak dinner over. I don't know, probably about, I don't know, maybe 12 people coming over for dinner. So that's happening in a couple of hours. I gotta roast some coffee still. So last night I went over to my new project. And it's not really my project, it's not my project lawn, but it's an older couple. They have this really big house up on the hill and a really big yard. And I'm redoing their yard for them. It's like 5,000 square feet. It's huge. And I started my first go around at it because there's a lot of moss over there. And because of that, there's a lot of work to get rid of it. Not so much the killing of it, but to get it out. So I've sprayed it with moss out. It's definitely dying. I did a terrible job cleaning this. And there was an area, I went over and looked at it on Saturday or something, Friday, I think it was Friday night actually. I looked at it Friday night after, because I sprayed it with glyphosate to kill it. And I just missed some spots. I don't even know how I could have missed some spots, but I did. And so there's still some grass growing. Let's see if I can get this in a little closer. It's centered for the vertical stream guys. If there's anybody on vertical, I don't know. So hopefully this goes good like last week, because last week it went pretty quick. And I think I may have figured out, where's my, I think I may have figured out a process to go through while I'm adjusting this to kind of keep everything in check. So I'm not constantly having to go back and forth. So I'm going to try that again today and see what happens. But this is a blade height adjustment. So to adjust the blade height, this is a McLean. So this is not a Greens master or anything. There's no master to this mower. In fact, it's probably not a great mower for what I use it for, because I do adjust it. I adjust the blade height, the height of cut, you know, every time I mow. I have to adjust it because I mow at 2 different levels. And I think this is designed to put it at a level and keep it there and not mess with it. And I'm using it as a greenskeeper and a putting green. And like a fairway maintenance. You know, I'm cutting at 2 millimeters and I'm cutting at 8 millimeters. And right now it's at 8 millimeters, so I'm going to go down to 2. So there's so little grass to mow on the putting green. It's going to take less than 10 minutes to mow the putting green. So because we're going, what is this, counterclockwise? I'm adjusting both sides at the same time. That's one of the tricks I've learned, to try to get it down as close to 2 as possible, and so it's even. Because what I've found is it just needs to be even. But also on top of that, you need to make sure that this roller goes down all the way smoothly. And so if each side is even, when I check it here, it holds its level much better. All right, so that one's at 3. So 3.09 and 3.35. So I got 1 more millimeter to go. So I'm just going to do something like that. I think this one was a little more. This one needs to go just a tad more. Oh, shoot. It was caught. I hate when that happens. So this little plunger gets caught sometimes, and I'm calling that good. So it's 2.17 and 2.10. 2.17 and 2.10. So that's pretty good for this mower. So I really don't have time to mess around with it today. I'm just going to check this again, just to make sure, because sometimes when you tighten, things go a little wacky. Good enough for me. It's 0.1 out on each side, so I'm good with that. So these are the adjustment bracket slider bolts. This is just what you loosen so that you can slide the bracket up and down that the roller rides on. And the stop nuts for the adjustment knob. I mean, once you get these tight, it basically holds everything in place. This clamps everything together, and then this doesn't move. There's no shaking, there's no moving of that anymore. So we're at 2. Nice and quick and easy. Like I said, I think I figured out how to work with this mower, because this mower definitely doesn't want to work with you as far as adjusting and staying in and all that kind of stuff. So gonna get the drone back up. See if we can keep this thing from crashing
Home
this
point
time.
refreshed. Home point refreshed.
I'll have to look at the video to see what happened. I mean, I think what happened was the battery died, and for some reason it didn't return home. God, that looks terrible. Straighten it out. We move it back just a tad. I don't know, I hope that's centered for you. I mean, it works for me. Okay. I move some other cameras around so we can So I was trying to say earlier that, you know, I got a new setup on my drone for how I'm displaying it now. I was displaying it before on this crappy old S8 phone that I have, and I just use it. I don't use it as a phone. I use it just as a camera. Because, you know, the program I use to do the lives and stuff, I use a camera feature called Droid Cam, and that's just basically a way you can connect your phones to the program through wireless internet. And I just have my computer inside the house, and everything connects to it, and it works easy. Otherwise, when I use my GoPros and all that kind of stuff, I can't do that with those. And I was trying to hook up my other camera, my Canon, but it was taking too long, and I got to get this done, so I stopped doing that. But I want to get my Canon camera hooked up to the same setup. Hold on, the belt's wet, so when the belt's wet, it slips. So this is gonna make a real mess, but I'll do a before and after. So this is the putting green grass. I should have raked it, but I did do the dew whip on it. I think I showed you guys that. So the cup is probably the best area to see the shagginess. Get a little depth perception on the shagginess. And if you're watching on vertical, sorry. I don't think this camera is set up on the vertical. And let me put this up a little more. So I'm going to cut a little deeper into my seating area. Oh, look at this. Look at how much grass is coming off of this. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to mow this with the rotary mower and get this grass off of here. So I don't know if you guys could see in just that one pass how much that took off there. Like I said, I did a lot of nitrogen and iron on this last week and the week before. part of the putting green here. It looks phenomenal. You know, my grandson was over yesterday and we were out here. He likes to kick the golf ball into the hole or throw it into the hole. And wow. I think I'm just going to continue on this path here, doing circle. And so he's got his rain boots on yesterday because it was raining yesterday, and we're out here on the putting green, and I'm trying to keep him off the seeded area because I'm trying to keep him from tracking, you know, my grass seed and my bent grass seed all over the place. Not even two yet, and you can't control that. That guy's just everywhere. You turn your back on him and he's gone. So you guys got to keep a close eye on him. Yeah, this is making a real mess. Oh my God. I seriously can't believe how much growth we've got in a week here. It's going to take a lot of work to clean up. Yeah, no, I don't use the grass catcher because when I use, oh man, the wheel just fell in the hole. Oh shoot. I don't use it, I just tore up my hole. I don't use the grass catcher because, number one, I got to get rid of the grass clippings if I do. But number two, the most important reason I don't is because this is free water and nutrients back into my soil. I mean, God, man, I wish this. Anyways, that's how quick it is to mow the putting green. See, and this is the part where I get in trouble because I have to drag this back across my Kentucky bluegrass to get it off the grass here, to get it out of the yard. And this is how I track all that bent grass into my Kentucky bluegrass. And it's a nightmare. So that's all three of my yards mowed. Just gonna keep the cameras going. Let's see here. Maybe I can lower the drone down so you can see it a little bit better. So I don't know how well you can see the grass clumpiness there. See, and then look at those turnaround spots from my mower. So, in the spot just above the hole is where the hole used to be. Just put some sand around it. I did a really bad job of moving the hole, but I had to move it. I actually had to move it twice. I moved it from, if I can do this. So it was originally over here. Oh shoot, don't run into the house. It's originally over here somewhere. It's like you can't even see where it was. So I moved it from here over to here to that sanded area right here. So I moved it from there, and then I did a really terrible job because I hit some rocks. And when I hit the rocks, I elongated the hole so the cup doesn't fit in very well. So then I moved it to here. And that's the story of why the pin's where it is and why I had to move it a couple of times. So that's that. I'll take this camera in. It tilts it up. And let's see all the grass clippings. It's a lot. It's a pretty uneven mow too, because when I do circles like that, the pressure goes down more on one side than the other side of the mower, and it causes it to cut shorter on one side than the other. So it's not even that it's scalped, it's just shorter on one side than the other, because it's not scalped. And I think you can see that there's no scalping here. There's just a lot of grass down there. So I'm gonna get the rotary mower out, and I'm just gonna try to suck up all this grass, especially on the putting green. That's a lot. So my neighbor has yard waste. So because I mow his lawn, I'll use his yard waste basket, because I don't fill it every week. But I need to get rid of these grass clumps. When I'm maintaining this green, every couple days I'm mowing, I will use the blower, my Ryobi blower on my expanded unit, and I will, yeah, that was a bad idea to do circles like that. It's terrible. And that's part of the reason why I get a lot of bent grass on the outside edges of my putting green here, my Kentucky bluegrass, because I use that Ryobi. So now this thing's starting to look really good. And I took my roller off, or my striper, which I usually use for when I'm mowing the neighbor's yard. And so see, here's the problem with doing all this on the green. The turning tears the putting green up. I mean, this is all going to recover really quickly, but especially right here, this is terrible. But in a couple days, you won't even notice it. I mean, it did the same thing last week. So there's a little difference in what it looks like now. So I'm going to do a stemp meter on my stemp meter reading on my putting green when this thing dries out. Oh, my drone went out again. Oh man. I don't know why my drone won't stay on. 45. We need the drone for this. Let me seems like it's connecting easier, so let me do this real quick. Still got 45% on my, there it is right there. All right, so 20-second delay. Let's see if it comes on. Come on. So I'm going to do a stemp meter reading on it because I want to, I watched a video on how the masters, how they take care of oh, it didn't come on. Oh man. how they take care of the putting greens at the Masters. Well, I'm just gonna move these other cameras, and sorry for those that, you know, are getting the vertical. You're only gonna see the one view. So I'm going to start using the techniques that they use at the Masters for how they get their putting greens ready for the, because I'm basically cutting at 2 millimeters. I mean, that's pretty much the height. I'm a terrible putter, so don't laugh. See how fast that ball's rolling? This is really wet too. Just barely hitting it. That one didn't hit enough. All right, look at that one. That one just kept rolling for days. Got a stupid bee around my head. I'm gonna move this one over here. So this is kind of the furthest I can putt right now. Come on. Oh, too hard. Way too hard. Oh, Ronnie. Overplayed the break. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 more and then call that good. Because I feel like I have to make one. And I've got the read down. Ow! All right, well. Close doesn't count. That's way off. Oh, oh. I got too many things to do to be out here messing around the putting green. So, that's the putting green. I'm rolling some balls. That's what 2 millimeter looks like on a wet day. Well, not a wet day, a wet green. Like I said, it was really rainy yesterday and it was really wet this morning. And you saw when I did the dew whip, I mean, it pretty much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and land this drone because I don't want it to crash again. It's had enough abuse today. And I know you can't see that view, so whatever. It was nice while it lasted. Oh, let's turn this the right way. So I'm gonna just mow the Kentucky bluegrass real quick to get the white grass up, the bleached out grass. I'm surprised this camera's still working. Oh, look, a worm just came up out of the ground. This. So much for being worm free. I don't know what brought him out. Well, I don't know why this camera went out, but whatever. Thing I'm doing here with doing my lives on my mows and stuff like that, I'm just showing my weekly progression as we come out of winter into spring, and the repairs that I'm doing to my yards, my putting green, and the recovery. You know, it's pretty much just about the recovery. You know, don't be nervous, don't be scared to do stuff to your yard. It's just grass. It'll grow back. If my putting green doesn't come back by June to the way I want it, I'm going to rip it out and I'm going to redo it. And I'm going to put a little bit more effort into it. And I'm probably going to dig it out more. And I'm going to put a proper base and drainage. I mean, it actually has really good drainage right now. I mean, I actually did a pretty good job for the, hack job I did on it just to get it going. But I want to improve on it. I mean, I could put a water hose on it in the summertime, when the soil's not so wet like it is right now. I can put my water hose on it and let it run. And the water will basically just absorb right into the lawn. And that's just one of the things I want to do. And I don't know why I never did it last year. I just didn't. It was something I wanted to do, but I wasn't doing these live mows like this. And that's something I want to just do live. I like doing everything live now because, this is reality. This isn't, take one, take two, take three. I mean, you see, every friggin' live I do, there's some sort of issue that goes on. I don't know what was going on with my drone, why it's cutting out. I had no problems with it before. And I started using my tablet on my drone because what I learned is in the screen mirroring that I'm doing, the bigger the device you're mirroring, the bigger the picture is on the OBS program. And I'm just a dumbass when it comes to most things. I mean, I'm not technical at all. I set up I got 3 monitors hooked up to my PC now for some of the things I'm doing, like with video editing. You know, you just need a lot of screens to be working with some of this editing I've gotten into what I'm doing. And, you know, a lot of the editing will never see the light of day. A lot of it's just, I'm learning how to do things just to learn how to do it. It's not like I'm doing, make a motion picture or do some great YouTube video. I do it just because I enjoy doing that. And because I enjoy doing it, I'm not afraid to put some money into it. And I hooked these monitors up. I just bought a curved monitor. It's really nice, actually. I really like it. It's really good for my editing program I use. And when I was setting it up, man, I couldn't figure out how to arrange the screens, what orientation, how to get, you know, this one to be where if I drag from, you know, the left to the right, it drags from the left to the right. You know, I mean, all simple, basic stuff, but I just didn't know how to do it. So I used to always call my sons and bug them about it. And, you know, I know they get tired of helping me and stuff. So I try now to not call them, and I try to use the good old AI to fix everything now, because one of the video editing guys that does tutorials and stuff like that, he did this with this guy, and they were talking about AI and video editing and all that stuff. And I had never even thought about it. I never thought about using AI before. And then they were talking about all the things you can do with AI and how it can help you with your video editing. So that's what I did. I started trying to do some video editing using the old AI, and then I was like, holy mackerel, this helps a lot. Because there are so many features and so many things you can do within my video editing program. I don't even know where to find half the stuff. I mean, I know if I want to do something, I can do it, but to find where it is and figure it out is almost impossible. You know, what is it called? There's all these little hidden menus and things like that that, you know, you got to find. And so that's really helped me find a lot of the tools that I need to use, but then it also helps me understand them, how to use them, how to make them work effectively. And I'm talking basic stuff. I'm not talking, you know, some of my cameras, I need to lighten the brightness of the video, because my cameras, I don't adjust them or do. But I know that sometimes the picture is washed out. And so because of that, you know, I want to turn. So that's what AI does. It helps you figure all that stuff out. So I've been using it for that. I've been using it for helping me make programs and things like that. For I do, you know, lots of 360 editing with my, you know, a 360 camera and all that stuff. And this camera just always gets stuck. This camera's terrible. And then
Yard's looking great today.
Oh, thanks, man. So I'm doing the 360 video editing now, and I've created a couple of apps to work with that. I'm also working on another app. Oh man, look at all this. I don't even know if I'm going on the right line here. This is out of control over here. I need to get my weed whacker out. So I'm also working on, you know, I've been doing a lot of things with, I need to cut this out. I know you can't see where I'm talking about, but this area around my flagpole needs some grass trimmed out. What is that called? The 3D videos where you have to wear the anaglyph glasses, or you can watch them through VR glasses. I'm working on doing a lot of that kind of editing right now. I mean, I posted a couple of things just because I was playing with it, trying to get it working. Now my newest thing is 360 audio, where I'm doing surround audio on videos. And you know, like I said, I'm just always messing around with stuff, trying to get things. Let's see, this camera's going like this. I'm gonna put this one over here. I think we still said that with cameras working. So that's why I use AI. It helps me find where all these tools are to do all this. Oh, damn it. Just screwed that edge up. Well, that line's crooked now. Oh well. So yeah, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff with video editing. Always have, always will. I've mentioned this before, I've been doing video editing for a lot of years. And I just have fun with it. I love setting up cameras and doing lives and stuff. You know, and it's just kind of one of those things, you know, whoever watches, watches. All right. So there's the putting green. Give you a nice little shot of that. Here's the sad Kentucky bluegrass in repair. So that's this week. Oops. Gonna shut it down. Just gonna mow the backyard real quick with the rotary mower to suck up all the grass because the growth. And I am going to roast the coffee and then get ready for people to come over, I guess, because it's getting late. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.